Yo, what up, team? Happy Friday. I hope that you guys are having a fabulous start to your day so far. Before we crack into things today, we are going to have a talk about our question of the day. So, question of the day today, team, is a pretty important one. What I want to hear from you guys today is what is one thing that you love about yourself? For me, I love my beard. That's where it's at. That's something that I love about myself today. So, in true fashion, guys, I'm gonna get this posted up on Facebook. So please get your comment loaded into the question of the day section there when you see it today. I want to hear from you. I want to see from you what is that one thing that you love about yourself today. Without further ado, now we're going to talk about our workout today. So, with our workout today, guys, we're kicking things off with a little bit of a gymnastics piece to get us started with. So, with this today, we're going through a 9-minute EMOM. In minute 1, we're going to be doing 7 to 9 reps of dips. In minute 2, we are looking at doing a dip support hold for 45 seconds. And in minute 3, we're looking at doing a hollow hold for 45 seconds. Now, with this piece today, team, or those dips and that dip support hold, we can do them from chairs, we can do them from a chair, we can do it from our couch, we can do it from a bed, whatever have you. We just need that raised surface that's going to allow us to bend at our arm as we need to get through that range of motion for the dips. With this support hold today, team, we can do this either from the top of our support hold with those arms fully locked out or from the bottom of that support hold. The only thing with the bottom of that support hold is I want you guys to ensure that you are not resting on the ground while you're in that bottom position. Leave a little bit of space. Keep that load on, okay? After that, we are finishing things off with a hollow hold. We've hammered it heaps and heaps and heaps, and I know some of us might be like, man, another hollow hold, but guess what, guys? Hollow holds appear in pretty much every single movement that we do in gymnastics. And even if you look at certain positioning, the hollow transfers over to so many other movements that we see in life. So it's really, 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 really important that we keep building our strength in this position, okay? So once we get through this piece, it is going to get a little bit spicy on our pecs and on our triceps and on our shoulders. We are going to move into a double EMOM for our workout today. So, all right, team. So today we have ourselves a double EMOM. With this double EMOM, we are looking at doing 2 8-minute EMOMs. In our first 8-minute EMOM, guys, we are looking at doing a 20-second max effort sprint in minute 1, and in minute 2, we are doing 15 backpack shoulder to overheads. After we get through that 8-minute EMOM, we're going to have a 2-minute rest. Then we're going to cycle into another 8-minute EMOM. In this EMOM, we are going to be looking at doing in minute 1 the maximum number of air squats that we can, and in minute 2 we are going to be looking at doing 15 backpack hang snatches. So with this piece today, guys, in that first 8-minute EMOM, when it comes to that sprint, I want you guys to sprint as hard as you possibly can for those 20 seconds. The goal with this, ideally, is to push yourself hard enough that you need to use the whole 40 seconds to rest and recover from that belt and from that effort. Then in minute 2, in a way, it's very similar. I want you guys to have a load in that backpack that's going to allow you to go unbroken so that you can get through these 15 reps with really good technique and quality, but also very quickly and efficiently and effectively so that you can get the most rest out of that minute. What that's probably going to look like for most of you is getting through it and having anywhere from 20 to 40 seconds worth of rest. That's okay though, because you're going to still be, in a way, recovering from that sprint that you did before if you hit that sprint hard enough. Now, once we've gone through and we've done that sprint and we've done those backpack shoulder to overheads in that first 8-minute EMOM, and then we've had our 2-minute rest, we're going to be switching things up a little bit. So in that second 8-minute EMOM now, in minute 1, we are looking at doing those maximum number of reps for those air squats. Now, when I say our maximum number of reps, I want you guys still to try and sustain those reps across each round. So if you come out the gate and you hit 25 reps or 30 reps on your first round with those air squats, I want you to try and hold on across the remaining rounds that we have in this EMOM, okay? So it's all about sustainability with this piece, but also pushing your threshold. In minute 2, it's very, very similar to the minute 2 that we saw in that first EMOM. With it, I want you guys to hit those 15 backpack hand snatches, but to also do so in a way that you can go unbroken on them. So we're trying to move unbroken today. We're trying to move at a faster pace and trying to push that threshold a little bit harder than we have in some of our other days. I hope that you guys have fun with the EMOM. We'll talk about our optional finisher soon. Now, for our finisher today, guys, what we have on deck is just a little bit of an ab finisher as well too. So we're going to be going through 2 to 3 sets of 30 hollow flutter kicks. And today, do note that there's a little bit of a caveat with this piece. For 1 rep, that means that we are doing 1 flutter kick on each side of our body today. So essentially it ends up being 60 total reps of flutter kicks. And then for our dead bugs today, guys, as we do them, we are looking at doing 8 reps of our dead bugs on each side of our body. Do note that there is a tempo to this today. So we're going to do 2 seconds on the way out and 2 seconds on the way back in under control. This is going to get that midline fired up today, especially with this piece. It's all about creating tension and sustaining that tension throughout movement. Okay, I hope that you guys have fun with this piece. Get after it today. Have a whole bunch of fun with it. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Alright team, so our first movement that we have today is going to be our dips. So with our dips today, guys, we can look at doing this from a chair, from a couch, from a bed. If you have a set of reins at home, you can do them with your reins as well too. If you have a set of parallettes, you can do it with the parallettes. But what we're looking at doing here, guys, is making sure that our wrists are stacked underneath our shoulders. From here, we can have our feet out straight in front of us. We're going to try and keep that vertical torso, and then initiating that movement, we're going to bend at the elbows, push those elbows back towards the chair behind us, drive those palms through the floor, and come up to full extension. That whole time, guys, I want to see the elbows stacked over the wrist as we do this. And then we're trying to press up to full extension. As you noted, Danny just made an adjustment with her feet. You can bring those feet in a little bit closer as well too today to take some of that additional load off. Dip support hold. So with this, we're just looking at pressing out, being in that full extension at the top of that hold, keeping that tension on in the midline, squeezing those glutes, squeezing the quads, keeping those shoulder blades pulled down and back with that big proud chest. If we need to, we can do this from the top, or we can do it from the bottom here. So as you notice, Danny's still keeping that tension on. Her glutes are hovering off of the ground, and she's keeping that tension on with that elbow stacked over top of that wrist. Okay, so we have those 2 options that we can work through with this support hold. It's just building up that extra stability and strength in those end ranges of motion.
Alright guys, so next movement that we have up on deck today is our hollow hold. So with this, we're pulling that ribcage to the pelvis, keeping that low back pressed into the floor. Our arms are extended overhead, our feet are pointed across that ring. Make sure we're squeezing those quads on, squeezing those heels together as hard as we possibly can and pointing those toes. For extra points, we have those shoulders lifted up off the ground. We're going to hang out here and rock this hollow hold. If that doesn't work for us, we can come into the tuck, so pulling those knees in. You also have the option of extending one knee out as well too, and having those hands down off to the side like Danny's demonstrating here, guys. Have fun with this piece. Cool.
Alright guys, so our next movement that we have for today is our backpack shoulder to overhead. So with this, guys, we can chip away at this as a push press or a push jerk. The same principles apply across. So from here, we're going to start off with that backpack up in that front rack position. Our elbows for these are going to be slightly lower than they would be in a front squat position, just so then we can allow for that backpack to move the way that it needs to. From here, guys, we're squeezing those quads on, squeezing the glutes on, keeping that tummy nice and tight, and then we're going to dip, drive, and punch that backpack overhead. Okay? So as we do this today, guys, my 2 points for you is in the dip. I want you to drive those knees out, and then I want you to focus on keeping that chest nice and upright as we do your presses today. Danny's going to show us 3 more reps of this so we get a feel for what we have going on. So just remember, drive the knees out, and then keep that chest vertical. Cool. Now, 2, take that progression to a push jerk today. You guys are doing this as a push jerk. We're going through that dip drive and then punching underneath and landing with that soft rebend in that quarter squat position. So all we're doing now is just punching ourselves lower. Make sure with this that as you guys drive those feet through the floor that you're finishing with those hips fully extended before you punch under. And we'll cycle through our reps that way. Make sure that you stand up to the top of each one as well too before you bring that backpack down to the front rack. That is our backpack shoulder to overhead.
All right, team. So our next movement that we have today are our air squats. So with this, we're starting with those feet, shoulder width to hip width apart. From here, guys, we are going to initiate this movement by sending those hips back and down and driving those knees out nice and wide. That whole time we're keeping that chest up, we're getting those hips below parallel, and then we're standing all the way up to full extension on each of these reps. Now, as we're doing this movement today, guys, with our worth of max reps of our air squats, I want you guys to be cycling down and up just like a piston in an engine. So just try and keep moving that full entire time as we hit this movement today, guys. So think, spread that floor apart, drive hard through those heels. Those are my 2 points of performance for you today. Sweet. All right, guys, so our next movement that we have today is our hang backpack snatch, essentially. So with this, guys, we can be doing this with a backpack or with a dumbbell or kettlebell today, but we're gonna demonstrate it with our backpack. So with this, guys, we're going from that hang position, so that's just in front of the knee. From here, what I want you guys to focus on, so to get to this position, we're sending those hips back, and then from here, note how there's that vertical shin. Now, my big points of performance for you guys to focus on with this today is jump punch. That's what we're focusing on here. We're keeping that backpack nice and close to the body. Yeah, and he's gonna show us a couple of these reps too. So we're jumping, punching, and standing. That whole time, keeping that backpack nice and close, brushing that shirt with that implement that we're using today. Again, he's gonna hit us with 2 more reps to show us what we're after. I think hollow flutters, abs, all right?
What do I do with my arms?
Let's hold hollow position
Ooh.
and flutter. Okay. All right, guys, so our next movement that we have today is our hollow flutter kicks, just like we did in that initial strength piece. So with this, we have those shoulders pulled up off the ground, ribcage pulled to pelvis, that midline nice and tight. From here, we're doing our nice, short, controlled hollow flutters for our repetitions today, guys. Keeping that low back pressed through the floor the whole time. These are dead bugs. So with this, we're pulling that ribcage to the pelvis, shoulders are off the ground. From here, we're extending out that alternating arm and leg while keeping the knee pointed straight up to that ceiling. Keep that tension on through the tummy, so brace those abs as hard as possible. And I want you to maintain contact with the floor with your lower back the whole entire time as we do this, guys.